Well, more evidence introduced in the Trey Holly case. Good evening to you. I'm Jennifer Andrews. Devontae Martin is live at Union Parish Courthouse with our update. Devontae?
Yes, Jennifer. Trey Holly's attorney, Michael Small, was introduced more evidence in court today. This is in addition to the evidence the prosecution introduced at Holly's last hearing in September.
Status conference for the 19th, but we're hoping that this process can be expedited to some extent.
Former Union Parish football star Trey Holly remains off the field and in the courtroom as his legal battle continues. New evidence was turned over in court Wednesday to his attorney, Michael Small. This is in addition to the evidence the prosecution introduced at Holly's last hearing in September. Small expressed in court that he'd been gradually receiving evidence since the last court date. Holly was initially charged with attempted second-degree murder in connection to a shooting in February. A grand jury dismissed that charge in April. Holly was suspended from the LSU football team in February and is still on suspension. Holly currently faces charges of illegal use of a weapon and aggravated criminal damage to property. And Small says he believes the new evidence includes body cam footage. The status conference is set for February 19th.